I stare at the quarterly revenue report glowing on my laptop screen. $62.4 million in 11 months. My hands shake slightly as I close the presentation. The glass conference room feels cold despite the afternoon sun streaming through the windows. Incredible numbers, team, I say, looking around the table at my colleagues. My voice carries quiet pride. This app started as a simple idea in my tiny studio apartment. Now it's the company's biggest success story. CEO Marcus Reed barely glances up from his phone. Thanks, Eliza. Good work. His tone is flat, distracted. Something feels off. Then he slides a manila folder across the polished table toward me. The paper makes a wisping sound against the glass surface. My stomach drops before I even open it. Your services are no longer required, he says with eerie calm. His blue eyes are cold, empty. And as per your contract, the IP rights to the app belong to the company. The words hit me like ice water. No warning, no explanation. Just a security guard standing by the door, waiting. I built this. Every line of code, every user journey, every late-night debugging session, and now they're throwing me away like garbage. My hands tremble as I close the folder. This can't be happening. 16 months earlier, I'm sitting in the break room eating a sad desk salad. The office buzzes with typical Tuesday energy. My regular job as a junior developer pays the bills, but barely. Anyone have ideas for our next product? Marcus asks, grabbing coffee from the machine. He's trying to sound casual, but I can tell he's stressed. Our last 3 app launches flopped hard. I swallow my bite of lettuce. What about something for freelancers? Like a daily planner that adapts to their chaotic schedules? Marcus laughs. Actually laughs. Freelancers don't have money, Eliza. We need paying customers. But CTO Sarah Chen looks interested. She leans forward, eyes bright. Tell me more. I explain my vision, an app that learns your work patterns and suggests optimal schedules. It would track deadlines, break big projects into smaller tasks, and send smart reminders. Build a prototype, Sarah says. In your free time, of course. Marcus shrugs. Sure, knock yourself out. Just don't expect company resources. I nod eagerly. Free time? I'll make time. This idea has been burning in my brain for months. Finally, someone wants to hear it. That night, I start coding in my cramped studio apartment. My secondhand laptop hums as I work until 3 a.m. This is it. This is my shot. 3 months later, my pet project is ready for beta testing. I've poured every spare moment into it. Weekends, lunch breaks, the hour before work. My social life is basically dead, but I don't care. I quietly recruit 50 college students as beta testers. No budget for marketing, so I get creative. I post in study groups, email friends, hang flyers on campus bulletin boards. The response is immediate and electric. This app saved my life. One student messages me. I actually submitted my thesis on time. Finally, something that gets how my brain works, writes another. Within a week, those 50 users become 500, then 5,000. The app spreads like wildfire through college networks. Students are sharing it on social media, recommending it to friends. I work my regular 9-to-5 job, then rush home to handle bug reports and feature requests. My eyes burn from staring at screens, but my heart races with excitement. Marcus stops by my desk one morning. Heard your little side project is getting some traction. A little, I say, trying to sound casual. Inside, I'm screaming with joy. Keep it up, he says with a patronizing smile. Maybe we'll actually use it someday. If only he knew what was coming. The TechCrunch Conference Center buzzes with energy. Hundreds of developers, investors, and entrepreneurs fill the massive auditorium. I'm here as Marcus's assistant, basically carrying his bag and taking notes. Ladies and gentlemen, the announcer booms, please welcome Marcus Reed, CEO of Innovate Tech, presenting their revolutionary freelancer productivity app. My heart stops. My app. He's presenting my app. Marcus strides onto the stage wearing his expensive suit. The presentation slides flash behind him. Screenshots I took, features I designed, user testimonials from my beta testers. Our team has revolutionized how freelancers manage their time, he declares confidently. This innovative solution combines AI-driven scheduling with intuitive task management. Our team? I built this alone in my apartment. I haven't slept more than 4 hours a night in months. The audience applauds enthusiastically. Several investors lean forward, clearly interested. Marcus is getting credit for my blood, sweat, and tears. I sit in the back row, invisible. My name appears nowhere in the presentation. Not on the slides, not in the credits, not even as a footnote. Sarah catches my eye from across the room and gives me a small, apologetic shrug. She knows the truth, but she's not about to correct her boss on stage. This is my moment, my creation. And I'm watching someone else steal it. Just some routine paperwork. Yes, HR manager Janet explains, sliding the contract across her desk. Company restructure means everyone needs to sign updated agreements. The office is quiet this late. Most people have gone home, but I stayed to finish debugging a user login issue. Always working, always grinding. I flipped through the pages quickly. Standard stuff. Job responsibilities, benefits, vacation policies. My eyes are tired from coding all day. The legal language blurs together. Nothing major. Janet says cheerfully. Just dotting I's and crossing T's. I sign without reading everything carefully. Biggest mistake of my life. Buried on page 14, subsection C, clause 7, hidden between paragraphs about office supply policies and parking regulations, is the trap. All intellectual property developed during employment, including projects initially created outside work hours, becomes sole property of Innovate Tech upon commercial deployment. I find this clause 6 months later when my lawyer reviews the contract. By then, it's too late. They planned this. They watched my app grow, waited for the perfect moment, then legally stole it from me. The signature at the bottom looks like my handwriting, but it might as well be my death warrant. Janet smiles as she files the paperwork. Thanks, Eliza. You're such a team player. Yeah, team player. That's me. The breakthrough comes at 2:47 a.m. on a Tuesday. I'm hunched over my laptop, surrounded by empty coffee cups and snack wrappers. My studio apartment feels like a submarine, cramped, isolated, but focused. The app is good, but something's missing. Users love it, but adoption has plateaued. I need that special sauce, that killer feature that transforms a useful tool into something indispensable. Then it hits me. Instead of just scheduling tasks, what if the app learned from user behavior? What if it could predict when someone works best and automatically suggest optimal work sessions? I code furiously until sunrise. Machine learning algorithms, behavioral pattern recognition, adaptive scheduling. This isn't just a planner anymore, it's an AI-powered productivity partner. I release the update quietly, no fanfare. Within hours, my phone explodes with notifications. This is magical, one user writes. It knows me better than I know myself. Usage jumps 400% in a week. Paying subscribers multiply daily. The app climbs the charts in productivity categories. Marcus calls an emergency meeting. Whatever you did, do more of it, he demands. This thing is printing money. But he still treats it like his creation. My nights of coding, my innovative thinking, my breakthrough moment, all credited to the team. I smile and nod. Let him think he's in control. He has no idea what I'm capable of. The security guard escorts me to my desk like I'm some kind of criminal. Other employees stare as I pack my few personal items into a cardboard box. A coffee mug from my college, a small plant my mom gave me, a stress ball shaped like a cat. My hands shake as I log out of my computer for the last time. But then I remember something important. Something they overlooked. The original codebase for my app lives in my personal GitHub repository. I built the first version entirely on my personal equipment, using my personal accounts. The company version was copied from my original work. My lawyer will love this detail. In their rush to fire me, they forgot one crucial fact. I still own the foundational code. The license agreement they're using is linked to my GitHub account. If I revoke access, their entire app infrastructure crumbles. I don't do anything yet. Revenge is a dish best served cold, and I want mine frozen solid. Marcus watches from his office as I leave. He looks smug, satisfied. He thinks he's won. He has no idea that I just walked out with the keys to his kingdom. The elevator doors close on my old life. When they open again, everything will be different. I pull out my phone and text my lawyer. We need to talk. Within a week, the whispers start. I hear it through my network of freelancer friends, the same people who beta tested my app in the beginning. Did you know Eliza built that entire app herself? One posts in a Facebook group. Yeah, she hired me to design some icons last year. Another responds. She was super cool to work with. Really knew her stuff. Wait, Innovate Tech fired her? That's insane. She was that app. I never asked them to defend me. They're doing it because they remember the truth. They remember late-night Zoom calls where I walked them through features. They remember me paying them from my personal PayPal account because I had no company budget. The conversations spread across social media. Designers, developers, content creators, they all start sharing their experiences working with me directly. Marcus probably has no idea this is happening. He's too busy taking credit in boardrooms to monitor what actual users are saying online. But I'm watching. Every comment, every share. Every person who remembers that I was the real architect of this success. The truth has a funny way of surfacing. People who were there, who witnessed the creation process, they don't forget. They know who really built what, and they're not staying quiet about it. My phone buzzes with supportive messages all day. "We got your back, Eliza. This is so wrong. Keep fighting." I'm not alone in this. I never was. I stare at the email draft for 20 minutes before hitting send. My Harvard alumni network has always been supportive, but this feels different. This feels like asking for help. The subject line is simple, a situation I wanted to share. I keep the message short and professional. Just the facts. I built an app that generated $62.4 million in revenue. The company fired me and claimed ownership of my work. I'm exploring my legal options. No anger, no sob story, just the truth. I send it to 50 people, classmates, professors, former mentors. Within an hour, my inbox explodes. "This is outrageous," writes Jennifer, now a VC at a major firm. "Want me to make some calls?" "I've seen this happen too many times," responds Professor Martinez. "Let's get lunch and discuss options." "Sharing this with my network," says David, who runs a startup accelerator. "This story needs to be heard." By evening, my story has circulated through 3 separate professional networks. Alumni from Harvard, MIT, and Stanford are discussing it. Some are just offering support. Others are suggesting concrete actions. Marcus gets his first hint that something's wrong when his biggest investor asks him pointed questions about the developer who built your flagship product. He calls me that night. I don't answer. The ripple effect has begun. The recruiter's name is Victoria Sterling, and she works for tech giant, Innovate Tech's biggest competitor. Her email subject line makes me do a double take. Blank check opportunity. "Hi Eliza," she writes. "I've heard about your situation. We'd like to offer you not just a job, but complete creative control and unlimited budget to build a competing product. Name your salary, name your team, name your timeline." I read the email 3 times. Tech giant wants to hire me specifically to destroy my old company. They're offering me the ultimate revenge, building a better version of my own app with infinite resources. The offer is tempting. So tempting. I could assemble a dream team, build something incredible, and watch Innovate Tech crumble. But I have bigger plans. I write back politely, "Thank you for the generous offer. I'm currently exploring other options, but I'll keep this in mind." Victoria responds within minutes. "The offer stands indefinitely. When you're ready to show them what you can really do, call me." I screenshot the conversation and save it in a folder labeled Options. Let Marcus wonder why his competitors are suddenly so interested in me. The best part? This recruiter reached out to me. I didn't apply anywhere. My reputation is growing, and people are starting to understand my value. Soon, Marcus will understand it too. The panel is called Ethics in Tech. Who owns innovation? Perfect timing. I sit on stage next to 4 other panelists, including Marcus. He probably accepted the speaking engagement weeks ago, back when he felt untouchable. Now he shifts uncomfortably in his chair. The moderator asks each panelist to share their perspective on intellectual property disputes. When it's my turn, I speak calmly into the microphone. I recently experienced a situation where I developed a successful product, only to have my contributions minimized and my employment terminated. It's a reminder that contracts matter, but so does basic fairness. I don't mention names. I don't have to. Marcus's face turns red as 300 industry professionals connect the dots. His company just had massive app success. There was just a high-profile firing. The math is simple. During the Q&A, someone asks Marcus directly, "How do you ensure developers get proper credit for their innovations?" He stumbles through a generic answer about team collaboration and shared success. His voice wavers. Sweat beads on his forehead under the stage lights. After the panel, attendees approach me with business cards and LinkedIn requests. Marcus leaves through a side exit, avoiding the networking reception. The video of the panel goes live on YouTube the next day. By weekend, it has 50,000 views. Marcus finally understands. I'm not going away quietly. Intellectual property law is complex, but your case has merit, attorney Rebecca Chen explains across her mahogany desk. Her office overlooks the city from the 32nd floor. Awards and diplomas line the walls. I've hired the best IP lawyer money can buy. Well, money I don't actually have yet, but she's agreed to work on contingency. She smells a big win. The original code repository predates your employment contract, she continues, flipping through printed GitHub logs. That's your smoking gun. You can legally revoke their license to your foundational code. My heart pounds. What happens then? Their app breaks. They'd need to rebuild from scratch, which could take months. Meanwhile, you're free to use your own code however you want. She files the copyright claim that afternoon. Clean, professional, airtight legal documentation. We're not playing games anymore. Marcus receives the papers 2 days later. According to my sources inside the company, he throws them across his office and screams at his legal team for an hour. They offer to settle immediately. Big mistake. Shows weakness. Rebecca advises we ignore their first 3 settlement offers. Let them sweat, she says with a predatory smile. Desperate people make bigger offers. The legal machine starts turning. Once it's in motion, there's no stopping it. Marcus is about to learn what real consequences look like. It starts with a simple notification email. GitHub access revoked for repository, productivity app core. Within hours, Innovate Tech's app begins experiencing technical difficulties. First, the login system becomes unstable. Then the AI scheduling features start glitching. By evening, user complaints flood their support channels. App keeps crashing, one review reads. Was working perfectly yesterday. All my data disappeared, complains another. What happened? I monitor their App Store ratings from my laptop. 5 stars dropping to 4. Then 3. Their perfect rating streak is over. Marcus calls an emergency tech meeting. According to my friend who still works there, he's screaming about sabotage and hacking. He has no idea that this is completely legal. Sarah, the CTO, tries to explain the situation. The foundational code was never actually ours. It was licensed from Eliza's personal repository. She revoked access. So fix it, Marcus shouts. We'd have to rebuild everything from scratch. That's months of work. The beautiful irony hits me. They fired me to save money, but now they need to spend far more to replace my work. Their stock price drops 12% in after-hours trading. Investors are getting nervous. I pour myself a glass of wine and watch their world crumble in real time. Janet from HR made a crucial mistake. She kept copies of everything. The manila envelope arrives at my lawyer's office with no return address. Inside, printed emails, meeting notes, and internal memos spanning 6 months. We need to be careful about the IP transfer clause, one email reads. Legal says it's borderline, but should hold up if challenged. Another memo, dated 3 weeks before my firing. Once Eliza completes the AI update, we can restructure her position. The app doesn't need her anymore. The smoking gun is a recorded meeting transcript. Marcus's voice, clear as day. We'll wait until she finishes the product, then remove her from the equation. Why pay a developer when we own the code? Rebecca spreads the documents across her conference table like a winning poker hand. This is conspiracy. Premeditated theft. They planned your termination from the beginning. My hands shake as I read my former colleagues' words. People I trusted, people I worked late nights with, people who smiled at me in meetings while planning my downfall. The journalist who breaks this story wins a Pulitzer nomination 6 months later. The headline reads, Internal documents reveal tech companies plot to steal employees' work. Marcus tries damage control, but the evidence is overwhelming. His lawyer advises him to settle immediately. Too late. The court of public opinion has already delivered its verdict. TechCrunch's headline goes live at 6 a.m. The woman who built a $16 app and got fired for it. My phone explodes. Journalists, producers, podcasters, everyone wants the story. I let Rebecca handle media requests while I watch the internet lose its collective mind. The article goes viral in 6 hours. 100,000 shares on Twitter, 50,000 upvotes on Reddit. #Justice for Eliza starts trending. Other tech workers share their own stories of workplace theft and abuse. My situation becomes a symbol of everything wrong with Silicon Valley's treatment of developers. This happens more than people realize, one comment reads. Companies exploit passionate developers, then discard them. Boycotting their app until they make this right, writes another. The app's ratings plummet from 4.8 stars to 2.1 stars in 48 hours. Users are deleting it en masse and leaving scathing reviews. Built on stolen work becomes the most common complaint. Marcus releases a statement calling the coverage one-sided and promising full transparency. But his damage control feels desperate, corporate speak that fools no one. Meanwhile, I receive over 500 LinkedIn messages of support, job offers, investment opportunities, speaking requests. My inbox crashes twice from the volume. The world is watching now, and they're on my side. Without my continuous improvements, the app starts dying a slow death. I was the one who fixed bugs, optimized performance, and added new features based on user feedback. Now there's no one who truly understands the codebase. Their development team tries to patch problems, but they're working with unfamiliar code. Every fix creates new bugs. Every update introduces fresh problems. User complaints intensify. App used to be amazing, now it's garbage. Constant crashes since last update. Looking for alternatives, this is unusable. Their user retention drops 30% in 2 weeks. New downloads slow to a trickle. The app that once dominated productivity charts is sliding toward irrelevance. Marcus hires expensive consultants to diagnose the technical issues. They spend weeks analyzing the code only to conclude what Sarah already told him. The entire foundation needs rebuilding. How long? Marcus asks during a board meeting. 8 to 12 months, the consultant replies. And that's with a full team. 8 months. In tech time, that's an eternity. Competitors will launch better products, users will forget they exist, their first mover advantage is evaporating. I sip my morning coffee and read the latest user reviews. Each 1-star rating feels like a small victory. They created this mess. Let them live in it. The shareholder meeting is brutal. I watch the live stream from my apartment, eating popcorn like it's a movie. Angry investors grill Marcus for 2 hours. They want explanations. They want accountability. They want their money back. How did you let one employee become so critical to operations? Demands Patricia Wu, the fund manager who led their Series B. Why wasn't there proper documentation and knowledge transfer? Asks another investor. Marcus deflects and makes excuses, but the numbers don't lie. Revenue is down 40%. User growth is negative. Their valuation has dropped from $200 million to $85 million in 3 weeks. The board votes 6-2 to begin exploring alternative leadership options. Corporate speak for. Marcus is toast. After the meeting, several investors reach out to me directly. They want to understand what really happened. They want to hear my side of the story. I schedule coffee meetings with 3 of them. Professional, cordial, informative. We made a mistake backing Marcus, Patricia admits over lattes. We should have been backing you. What are your plans now? Asks David Kim from Venture Partners. I smile mysteriously. Something bigger, something better, something entirely mine. Their eyes light up. The word funding hangs unspoken in the air. The hunters are becoming the hunted. My new office is a cramped co-working space in Soma, but it feels like a palace. For the first time in years, I'm building something that belongs completely to me. The new app isn't a copy of my old work, it's an evolution. Smarter algorithms, cleaner interface, better user experience. I'm taking everything I learned and making it 10 times better. I assemble a small team, 3 developers I trust, a designer who believes in the vision, and a marketing specialist who understands the story we're telling. We work 18-hour days because we want to, not because some CEO demands it. Every line of code feels like freedom. Every feature represents hope. The funding comes together quickly. Patricia Wu leads a $5 million seed round. Other investors pile in. Everyone wants a piece of what we're building. This isn't just about the product, I tell my team during our first all-hands meeting. This is about proving that talent deserves respect, that creators deserve credit, that doing the right thing can be profitable. We target a launch date exactly 6 months from my firing. Perfect timing. Perfect symbolism. Marcus has no idea what's coming. He's too busy trying to keep his sinking ship afloat. By the time he realizes I'm his biggest threat, it'll be too late to stop me. The email arrives on a Friday afternoon. Subject line, Confidential settlement proposal. Marcus is offering me $2 million plus a non-disclosure agreement to resolve our differences amicably. In exchange, I would stop all legal action and promise never to discuss what happened. I screenshot the email and posted on Twitter with the caption, "Someone thinks silence can be bought. It can't." The internet erupts. #silence is not for sale trends for 6 hours. Legal experts weigh in on the ethics of NDA settlements. Journalists analyze what this offer reveals about Innovate Tech's desperation. I respond publicly. I'm not interested in money. I'm interested in justice. Some things are more valuable than cash. The gesture backfires spectacularly for Marcus. Instead of looking generous, he looks guilty. Instead of seeming powerful, he appears weak and panicked. My lawyer calls within an hour. 5 other women have contacted me about similar situations at tech companies. Your case is becoming a movement. Rebecca's right. This stopped being about just me weeks ago. Now it's about every developer who's been exploited, every creator who's been stolen from, every employee who's been discarded after building something valuable. Marcus wanted to buy my silence. Instead, he amplified my voice. The irony is delicious. Launch day arrives like Christmas morning. Our app, called Flow State, goes live at 9 a.m. Pacific. The response is immediate and overwhelming. Pre-orders we've been collecting for weeks convert to downloads. Social media explodes with support. Tech journalists who've been following my story write glowing reviews. Flow State isn't just better than its predecessor. It's revolutionary, writes TechCrunch. Eliza Monroe has proven that talent and ethics can coexist, says The Verge. Within 24 hours, we hit 100,000 downloads. Within a week, we're at 500,000. The app shoots to #1 in productivity categories across all platforms. Users love the transparency. We publish our development blog, showing exactly how features are built. We credit every team member by name. We operate like an anti-Innovate Tech. Marcus releases a statement calling Flow State a copycat product. The market responds by downloading our app even faster. Patricia Wu stops by the office with champagne. "Series A," she asks with a grin. "Let's talk," I respond. "We're not just succeeding, we're dominating." Marcus's worst nightmare is coming true. I'm better without him than I ever was with him. The student has become the master. The SEC investigation begins quietly, but news leaks within days. Someone tipped off regulators about Innovate Tech's inflated user metrics and revenue projections. Internal emails show Marcus instructed his team to count phantom users and report beta downloads as paying customers. The $62.4 million revenue figure that got me fired? Half of it was fake. Federal investigators raid Innovate Tech's offices on Tuesday morning. Agents cart away servers while employees watch in shock. Marcus hires criminal defense attorneys. His corporate lawyers quit. Board members distance themselves with carefully worded statements. The SEC probe reveals years of fraudulent reporting, fake partnerships, imaginary customers, revenue recognition violations. Marcus built his empire on lies. Now those lies are collapsing on top of him. I feel vindicated, but also sad. I never wanted to destroy lives. I just wanted credit for my work. But Marcus chose deception over honesty, and consequences have a way of finding liars. The board meeting lasts 6 hours. When Marcus emerges, his face is ashen. He carries a cardboard box, the same walk of shame I took months ago. The press release. Innovate Tech announces leadership transition. Marcus Reed has resigned to pursue other opportunities. Stock price drops another 20%. Employees start job hunting. Sarah Chen gets promoted to CEO, but inherits a mess. Half the engineering team has quit. The app is still broken. Marcus disappears from social media. Industry conferences quietly remove him from speaker lineups. I watch his fall from my new corner office. Flow State just closed our Series A at a $50 million valuation. Success is the best revenge, but watching your enemies self-destruct is pretty satisfying too. Marcus fired me for building something valuable. Now his lies have fired him from everything he thought he owned. The realtor shows me 3 floors downtown. Floor 15 offers perfect views of Innovate Tech's office across the street. "I'll take it," I tell her. "You'll need to negotiate with the new owner." I smile. Actually, I am the new owner. Buying the building was business, prime real estate, great investment. The fact that Marcus will see my logo every morning? Pure coincidence. I don't evict Innovate Tech. Instead, I triple their rent when their lease renews. Market rates. Sarah Chen meets to discuss terms. This is awkward, she admits. Business is business, I reply professionally. They can't afford the new rates and move to the suburbs. Watching their moving trucks feels like closing a chapter. The new tenant is a non-profit focused on workers' rights. Perfect fit. The letter arrives from Stanford University. Dear Miss Monroe, my name is Jessica Park. I'm a CS major, and your story changed my life. My supervisor tried taking credit for my algorithm. I was scared to speak up. Then I saw your interview. Your work deserves your name on it. I reported the situation. The supervisor was fired. I got proper credit and a job offer. You taught me that standing up for yourself isn't selfish, it's necessary. With gratitude, Jessica. I read it 3 times before crying. All the legal battles were worth this moment. Jessica isn't the first. My inbox contains hundreds of similar stories. I frame her letter and hang it above my desk. Some victories are measured in dollars, others in lives changed. This one matters more than all the money in the world. Final question, Eliza, the interviewer says. What was your biggest win? I pause, considering. Flow State is valued at $200 million. We have 150 employees. We're expanding internationally. But those aren't the victories that matter most. My biggest win was realizing that firing me was the best thing they ever did for me, and the worst thing they ever did to themselves. That's quite a perspective. Marcus thought he was discarding dead weight. Instead, he freed me to become everything I was meant to be. Potential can't be owned, only unleashed. I glanced toward Innovate Tech's old building. They had no idea what they were losing, but I had no idea what I was gaining. Behind me, carved into glass, Flow State, where talent finds its true home. They thought they could erase me. Instead, they just gave me a bigger canvas to paint on.